Hey, this is Andrew Aversa with Impact Soundworks, and today we're going to be taking a look at SNESVerb. This is our brand new standalone plugin which emulates the classic reverb effect found in many SNES or SNES games. It runs as both a 32 and 64-bit VST, Mac VST, or AU audio units format. This means you can use it on PC or Mac in just about any program of your choice. We actually included a similar effect in our Super Audio Cart instrument. So if you see here, we had this SNESVerb rack effect, but this was pretty simple and we wanted to build on the concept. Now, all Super Audio Cart owners are going to get this for free, but if you don't have Super Audio Cart, you'll be able to pick it up for just $20. So let's hear what it sounds like. I have a simple SNES church organ sound from Super Audio Cart, and this is going through the plugin. And now I'll bypass it. And this stereo meter here just shows that the original signal is purely in mono. And when we send it through the reverb, we can have a stereo effect. So let's take a look at the plugin in a little bit more detail. It has 4 different input modes. In this case, since the input signal is mono, these don't make a huge difference, but depending on the kind of signal you're processing, you can do both left and right channels independently. You can do only the left or only the right channel, so those get sent into a mono signal, or you can do mono sum, which will add the left and the right together, collapse it down to mono, and send it through. Next, the chord delay has 3 parameters. There's delay feedback, delay time, and delay width. By adjusting these, you can create the simulated reverb effect. So in this case, these settings sound pretty good. But we can adjust it further to have a much shorter delay time and maybe a little bit more feedback and less stereo. And we can also test this with other sounds. So here's a Zebra 2 pad sound. And we have just a little bit of stereo happening here because I turned down the delay width. But let's hear without the effect. It's very flat and one-dimensional, so go back to the effect. Turn up the wet and the dry. And it's really a lovely, charming, nostalgic effect. Reverbs these days are very lush. Many of them are very realistic. With SNESVerb, it's emulating something, it's a technique that's very low on CPU, low resource. But it can be very useful for adding some life and space to the sound. And of course, this plugin is, as you can see, it's very easy to use. I've already shown just about all of it. Now, it does have some other useful features. I'm going to pull up a different instance of the plugin, and we'll switch over to a drum set instead. This one is from our Shredded Drums plugin. Now, if we unbypass this, I have some settings using the filters and the downsampler. So let's hear what that sounds like. Having a built-in downsampler is nice. We have off, which is just the whatever default sample rate you have. Then 32 kilohertz, 22, and 11. These are all common sample rates used on the SNES console. By using the downsampler, and especially if you turn on downsampling dry, which will affect the dry signal too, you can crunch even a very normally realistic sound into one that sounds, pretty retro and lo-fi. And we also have the delay going on here. But there are 2 other features that are pretty useful. We have a pre- and post-processing filter. The best way to show it is to use a high-frequency cymbal. Now with the downsampling, we're getting a lot of aliasing, so we're getting some sort of distortion in the high frequencies. But let's say we wanted to attenuate that a little bit. So this is before the downsampling occurs, and then the post-filter cutoff is after the downsampling occurs and after the reverb. So by doing these, you can play with the frequency balance, and you could do this with an external EQ, but again, we thought it would be handy to put that all into the plugin interface. We could try this with a more trance synth style sound. Another neat feature is that you can randomize the settings with just the click of a button, and you'll never get something that's really bad, like 100% feedback, for example. We've adjusted the ranges. And this is kind of a neat effect here because the downsampler is all the way down, but because downsampling dry is not on, you only get that crunchy, distorted effect on the reverb itself. And that pretty much sums it up. That's SNESVerb in a nutshell. It's super low CPU, uses almost no memory, the download is tiny, it's just a couple of megabytes, and it runs as, again, 32-bit VST, 64-bit VST, as well as Mac VST and Mac AU formats, so you can use it pretty much any DAW. Once again, it's $20 if you don't have Super Audio Cart, which we think is a pretty good price considering what you get. And if you have Super Audio Cart, you're going to be getting this 100% free. I really hope you enjoy making music and lots of retro stuff with SNESVerb as well as Super Audio Cart, and that you try these on more modern instruments and sounds as well. This has been Andrew Aversa signing off.